Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at some basic interior design tips and tricks for your Minecraft houses. So the first room we're going to look at is going to be the dining room. Generally these will be a larger room in your house, so I've gone ahead and added a pretty large dining room table using dark oak slabs and dark oak stairs on the corner. To make this really simple chair design, you just use a stair and some signs on either side. Pretty simple. I use this design a lot in my worlds. You can also sink a minecart into this so that it's functional. But then we have the item frames as little plates. Candles in the middle for a little bit of decoration, paintings to add some color, and then this is just a basic grandfather clock. So again, you have your dark oak slabs with some trapdoors, the bell, and then a clock so that you actually know what time of day it is. For the walls, I went with a trim along the bottom and then a colorful wall since we were using a lot of wood in the design. And with all of these, one of the things to start with is a color palette so you know where you're kind of going. If you have too many colors going on in a build, it can start to look a little bit crazy. So picking just like a basic color that you want to go with and then some different wood colors, because I think those are kind of like neutrals to accent your colors. So in this case we went with the cyan of the warped wood, and then I added in some of the light gray glazed terracotta as a little bit of a pop on our rug down here. A basic chandelier, nothing too fancy, it's just dark oak fences with some fence gates. The beams across the top help to kind of bring the roof down since this is such a tall space. And then one of my favorite things to do are floating shelves with just a bunch of odds and ends on them. We don't have a lot of placeable items, so my favorites are sea pickles and lanterns, and then of course your potted plants, and then the wither skeleton skull looks really nice on the shelf as well. But yeah, so that's a basic dining room for you. Next room we'll look at is a bedroom, which is one of my favorite rooms to decorate. So we have a fairly large and impressive 4-poster bed. To do this, you have your bed sunk down with some spruce slabs and then kind of a gazebo-like structure over the top of it. And then I also added some green banners to give it a little bit more detail. And you'll notice again that I have a pretty specific color palette that I'm working with here. So you've got the greens and then a mix of oak, spruce, and then some accents of dark oak. A lot of my builds I use multiple different colors of wood just because they are kind of a neutral color and they help bring a little bit of contrast in places where you want contrast, but also blend it all together pretty well. So we've got one wall that's nice and green with some green terracotta, and then over here is a sandstone wall, smooth sandstone. More floating shelves up at the top, and you can either do this one as a trapdoor shelf or you've got just a slab shelf. Over here you've got a bookcase. And the one thing with bookcases that I wish they would change is they're all oak trimmed. So instead of being able to use spruce with them, you usually have to use oak so that they blend a little bit better. That's okay. So we've got a little bit of an inset bookshelf here with a little couch to read, a little desk so you can get all your Minecraft work done. But yeah, that's a basic room. One thing that I use a lot in all of my builds is this wardrobe. So it's great for storing, extra armor and weapons in. But you just have your 2 spruce trapdoors on either side, some slabs, and then 2 spruce doors. very simple, and you are able to access that top chest. Moving on to your kitchen. So for the kitchen, you want a lot of storage. So I've used barrels up here for the top cabinets. You've got your your furnace, which is an oven in our kitchen, and of course the vent hood. Another thing you can do is put a campfire down in here, and you actually have some smoke coming up the top of it. Really easy. Sink is just a cauldron with a banner pattern on the front as like a little dish towel, and then a tripwire hook as your faucet. We've got some end rod lighting and a decorative wallpaper. The gray wool carpets are going to be our countertops, and we could even put one right there. A simple fridge with an iron door and 2 iron blocks. And then this is kind of a little pantry to store all of your meats and fishes. And then we also have barrels up the top for more food storage. And then a little basic Minecraft kitchen table. Very tiny, only for 2 people. Can't forget your classic black and white tiled kitchen floor. And then I did cyan terracotta for the walls, just to kind of blend in that countertop a little bit more. But I think if I was redoing it, I would probably do our wallpaper back here too. Oops. With the glazed terracotta, I recommend kind of placing it in different patterns until you get something that you like, because it connects in certain points, but it also makes some funky patterns if you keep moving it around. Alright, so the last room that I had for today, and probably my favorite one, is this little magical library. So this is where our enchanting setup is, and it has little spaces for chest, so you can store your lapis, and then we have some books and some overgrown crystals. And the one thing here is to just, if you have a busy wallpaper like this, you don't want, like, this is a pretty large section of it, so you don't want to see a lot of this. You just want to see little bits and pieces poking through, so it's not overwhelming. And then I went with another brick floor because it does tie into this wallpaper really well, and it's got kind of the purpley of the crystals going on. But yeah, so for the actual bookcases, we have just some oak mixed in so that they're not so flat, and some candles, little nooks and crevices to hide things in. For the crystals growing on the wall, one thing that I did make sure to do is, if you have a large crystal, you just kind of do your smaller clusters coming out from it, so it looks like this is the main point and then it's starting to spread out from there. Alright guys, so that's 4 basic room designs for you. Let me know what your favorite is in the comments, and let me know if you like this style of video. It's a little bit different for me, so I kept it short, or if you'd like to see a more detailed interior design where I build some on camera. So yeah, let me know, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see new build tutorials every week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.